Hey, this is Thomas with another video all full of scholarships that are due in the month of May. So definitely don't want to miss these. In this scholarship video, we have over $20,000 worth of scholarships. Now, if we look at this scholarship, it is the Ashoori Law Good Deeds Scholarship. So what's cool about this Good Deeds Scholarship is that it's talking about you doing sort of an act of kindness. We're going to get into that at the essay portion. Now, how much is this scholarship? It is $1,000. So an essay gets you $1,000. When is it due? This one is due on May 1st, so try to get it in sooner than later. You don't want to waste too much time. May 1st. And are you eligible? So in order to be eligible for this one, you need to have performed an act of kindness for another person. Hopefully everybody can say that they've accomplished that. You do need to be enrolled or accepted in an accredited U.S. undergraduate or graduate program, and you do have to have at least a 3.0 GPA. Now, what do you have to do? We talked about this a little bit, but you are going to have a 750 to 1,000 word essay. You will have to submit a transcript, and you do have to fill out a scholarship application. So here is how you're going to apply. All right, here we are on the web page for the Ashoori Law Good Deeds Scholarship. And if we scroll down here, again, it says, we're excited to announce this. It is $1,000 intended to assist one driven, kind-hearted college student with a history of going beyond themselves to do good for others. So we're going to scroll down here to the eligibility. It says eligibility is you've performed an act of kindness for another person. And it says it can be a single act. So just, if you've only done one thing for somebody, or it can be a history of ongoing kindness. So you're going to put that into your essay. And this is where they talk about being accepted or enrolled, a GPA 3.0 or higher, submit your essay, and details below. So we're getting into some more of that stuff. And it says the winner will be announced on June 1st of the calendar year. Here's the essay. Please write an essay between 750 to 1,000 words introducing yourself, explaining your act of kindness and the impact that it has had and how it has shaped you. So this is another essay that you should be able to utilize the contents or the details of it beyond this essay. So you're talking about an act of kindness or maybe a history of acts of kindness. You're going to explain that, what impact it had and how it helped shape you. So you can use this story about how something you did for somebody impacted someone else and how it impacted you. You can use that story in other essays for other types of scholarships. So just keep that in mind. All right, and then if we continue to scroll down here, how to apply, fill out the scholarship application form. It says on the right side, it's going to be below because I'm zoomed in on the webpage. But if you're zoomed out, it will be on the right side of the page. And then upload the transcript and the essay in the space indicated. So here's the terms and conditions. We already kind of talked about all that. And here's the actual form. It's on the web page. First name, last name, email, phone number, academic information here. And then here's the transcript and your essay. You're going to basically electronic signature and boom, submit application and you're done. Next. So this scholarship is called the Visionary Scholarship. Now, how much is this scholarship? Well, this one is $5,000. So when is it due? Well, this one is due in the beginning of May, the 1st. Now, are you eligible? Well, let's take a look. So you have to be a high school graduating class of 2022, 23, 24, or 25. Now, that is indeed because this scholarship video is being filmed in 2022. If you're watching this in a subsequent year, like 2023 or 2024, then obviously the dates are going to be pushed back. This is the 12th annual version of this scholarship that is being published and run. So it's definitely something that comes out every year. So if you're watching this next year, you can still apply. Now, what do you have to do in order to apply for this scholarship? Well, you're going to have to fill out a scholarship application. We're going to get into the details of this in just a second, but it's the ACA Visionary Scholarship Application. You will have to send in an unofficial high school transcript as well as write an essay, but it's not too long, only 500 words. Now, here is how you're going to be able to apply. So this is the actual website. And so we're going to go over here and kind of scroll through. So see, it says the 12th Annual Visionary Scholarship. High school grades are eligible. So that's what we already saw. So coming down here, this is that information we just went over. June 30th is when the winner will be chosen. But over here, if you click on this, and we will do this in a second, it says visit the registration page to begin the application process. When you go here, you're going to fill out some information. You're not actually going to be filling out the application on that page. You're actually going to be filling out a registration. And then as it says here, they're going to then mail you an application packet that you should get within 2 weeks. That's why this one, again, you kind of want to jump on it and get started soon since it's due in May. All right. But going back to over here, it says here that the actual application packet, you're going to receive that within 2 weeks from the time that you register. This is to register. Then you're going to fill out the application packet and you're going to send it back in. So we're going to want to go ahead and keep going down here. Here's the instructions. So again, they talk about this, but here's where we want to highlight right here. The essay portion is going to be a 500-word essay on why college is important to me. Now, something that I want to highlight here about why this matters is this essay, why college is important to me. This is a pretty general topic. The essay prompt is pretty general. What that means, though, is that this essay that you're going to write for this scholarship, you're going to be able to reuse the content, maybe not the exact essay, but like tweaking it and editing it specific for other essays. This topic is going to be broad enough that you can reuse this essay over and over and over. I guarantee it. So definitely take the time on this essay to really dive in, really do a good job on this essay, because you're going to reuse it. And I would revise it every single time you reuse it and just tweak it a little bit, but just take the time, because why college is important to me, that's going to come up time and time again throughout these scholarship applications. So definitely don't skimp on this essay. You want to go ahead and take the time to really do it right. So then going back over here, this is where it says submitting your application, upload your application packet here. So this, once you have that, you would click here, upload your application packet. Here's what you need to do, fill this stuff out. And then here's where you would choose the file and upload it. So that's after you have it. But if we scroll back up here, we're going to click on this registration page. This is going to take us to here. So here's the $5,000 scholarship, but as we come down here, student information, fill all this out. And then it talks about your father and mother's information. I am a high school student, blah, blah, blah. And then it's complete my free registration. This is the registration, not the application. Once you click my free registration, then they will go through the process of mailing it to you. All right. And then once you get that, that's when they're going to actually send the packet. You fill it out, send it back in. So a 500-word essay, unofficial transcript, and then filling out that application is all you need to do for this scholarship. Next, now this scholarship is called the Carrington-Philbert Scholarship Program. Now, how much is this scholarship worth? $2,500. That's a pretty good chunk of change. Now, when is this one due? This scholarship is due on May 1st, so you're going to want to jump in and get this started so that you kind of get the ball rolling. You only got about a month from watching this when it gets posted, so you definitely want to jump in. Don't miss the deadline on May 1st. Now, are you eligible? This is obviously an important question. Now, in order to get this scholarship, you do have to be African American. You do have to plan to attend a U.S. 2-year community college or a 4-year college. So definitely make sure that that applies to you if you're interested in this scholarship. Now, what are you going to have to do in order to win this scholarship? Now, there's a handful of things beyond just the essay, but they're not that hard. You got a letter of recommendation from a teacher or principal. You have proof of enrollment. That's for the college where you're going. You have to upload a transcript and a photo, and then you're going to have a 250 to 500 word essay. So how exactly are you going to apply for this? Well, let's jump right into the website. Okay, here we are on the web page, and we're going to scroll down. So here we can see $2,500 right here. And if we keep going, it says you should be African American, 2-year, 4-year college. The awards will be paid out in September. Application due May 1st. Letter of recommendation, all the things we talked about. Now, the proof of enrollment needs to be by August 31st. So that's if you're the winner. So you don't have to have that today per se, but you do want to have that queued up by August. Upload the transcript, photo, recommendation, and the essay. Now, you will have to complete all of this and send it all in. Now, you have the option here to print and download the scholarship application and email it. However, if we just scroll down here, you can fill it out right here on the webpage. So if we want to use this, we would just scroll through first name, last name, initial, etc., phone number, email, all that sort of information. Here's the name and address of the high school, your GPA, honors and activities, hobbies, etc. Here's what college you plan to attend, list the school's name, and then top 3. Anticipated field of study, expected start date. Now down here, this is where it says on a separate paper, please write an essay, 250 to 500 words, and that's going to be addressing the following question. What has been the driving force for you to pursue a higher education? And what are your passions, and how do you plan to ensure you follow them? So once again, this essay here is kind of broad. What has been the driving force for you to pursue a higher education? This is kind of like, why do you want to go to college? If you spend a good amount of time developing good answers to each essay question, you're going to start to come across essay questions that are similar, and you can use the bulk of your previous essay in your future scholarship application. So this is one example, again, where it's a pretty generic scholarship question. So when you develop an answer to this question, then you can reuse this scholarship essay over and over. So take the time to really revise it. And each time you pull it back out for another scholarship, it'll save you tons of time on that next one. But also you can just revise it and tweak it a little bit and make it even better than this time. So just keep that in mind as we're going through this, that you can reuse your essays. All right, statement of accuracy, check that out. Here's where you upload all these things: letter of recommendation, high school transcript, scholarship application, the essay, and here's the photo, the headshot, date it, and boom, hit submit, and you're done. Next. All right, the name of this scholarship is the IEI $1,000 Annual Scholarship Essay Contest. So for the question of how much is it, how much do you think? It's the $1,000 Annual Scholarship Essay Contest. So it is indeed $1,000 for the winner of this essay contest. Now, when is it due? This one is also due May 1st. I have a few other ones that are posted that are due May 1st. So definitely don't waste your time. Jump right in. Are you eligible? In order to be eligible for this one, you do have to be a high school senior or be enrolled as an undergraduate in a college or university inside the United States. So if you're not quite a high school senior yet, put this on the list for when you are. If you're in college already, though, you can apply as an undergraduate. Now, what are you going to have to do to win this? Well, it's an essay contest. So you're going to write an essay, 800 to 1,000 words for this essay contest. So here is how to apply. Let's jump right over here to the website. And we're going to scroll down. So here again, it's $1,000. The winner payout announced, all that sort of stuff in May. If there are fewer than 20 entries, it does say the deadline will be extended. So I guess they want to get at least 20 entries in their contest, but that kind of gives you a heads up if they're saying, if they're even putting it in here to say, hey, it's possible that there might be less than 20 entries, then keep that in mind, because sometimes people enter these contests thinking like, oh, I'm sure I'm competing against everybody that has like 4.0 GPAs and there's hundreds and thousands of applicants. And it's like, this one's basically acknowledging like they've probably had experiences where they've had less than 20 people apply. Probably. So just think about that when you're applying. That you might only be competing against a handful of people. So take that for what it is, but just keep that in mind. The winner will be notified 4 weeks after the deadline. So think about that as well. And we're going to keep going down here. The entry requirements. So you're going to compose your essay of 800 to 1,000 words on one of the following topics. Now, key here is one of the following topics. It will be judged on content, creativity, use of grammar, punctuation, and it has to be your own work. So once again, here are the 3 topics for this one. So you got top 6 tips to help prevent a home or building fire, 7 most proven ways to increase the value of your home, pros and cons of replacing a roof yourself. Now, I will say, odds are you're probably not going to get too many other scholarship applications that are asking you the pros and cons of replacing a roof yourself. So just keep that in mind. It's probably going to be an essay that's a one and done, but it doesn't mean you're not going to be able to incorporate something that you could still use in a future essay. So take that for what it is. Again, you should be a senior in high school or transitioning or enrolled as an undergraduate already. Does say employees and immediate family members of Ivey Engineering are not eligible to participate. Students with full academic scholarships are not eligible to enter. So if you already have a full ride, then you can't do it. I'm not sure why you would be applying for this scholarship if you did already have a full ride, but anyways. And if you've already won, then you're not eligible. Now, the way that you actually apply for this one is right here. It says you're going to email your essay in a Microsoft Word document or plain text format to scholarships@ivyengineering.com. And you can only enter 1 entry per person. So in that email, you're going to put this. Please specify your name, date of birth, contact telephone, email address, mailing address. Your contact information will be held in confidence and will not be shared. So this needs to be included in the email. And then also they want to know this. How did you hear about us? Which I guess if the first time you're hearing about it is this, then you would just reference this YouTube page for that. If you're under 18, please provide a parent or guardian's email address. And then you're going to include the name of the university and the mailing address of the financial aid office so that they can send the information or the winning money to there if you win. They do also want a headshot. And it does say that is at least 300 pixels wide. And if you don't receive, if they don't receive all the information they're asking for, then you might be disqualified. So, but you're going to do it right here. You're not going. There's not an online format or anything like. You're just going to email it to scholarship@ivyengineering.com. So remember, you're going to write a 800 to 1,000 word essay. Pick one of these 3 topics. Next. Now, this scholarship is called the Rise Financial Progress Scholarship. And we're going to get into the website, but the Rise Financial Progress Scholarship is actually, they have a course on financial literacy that you can take and that you can learn about the different information. And then you're going to answer some questions, write an essay. And so it's all about learning financial information. So for me, the benefit of this one is that it helps educate as part of the application process. So even if you don't win the money, which I hope you do, but even if you don't win the actual scholarship, you're still gaining valuable information as part of the application for this scholarship. So I think that's pretty cool. But let's jump right in. How much is this scholarship? So there are actually 5 $3,000 awards that will be given out. So you don't have to be the best, just top 5, and you're going to get $3,000. When is it due? It is due on May 3rd. And again, it comes up every year. So if you missed it this year, think about May 3rd for next year so that you can get your name in the hat. Now, are you eligible for this scholarship? Well, in order to be eligible, you need to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident, a full-time or part-time university student, or you have to be enrolled to start at an eligible career school, college, or university next term. And you do have to have at least a 2.5 GPA on a 4.0 scale. Now, what is it that you have to do? We talked about this a little bit, but you will have to complete the Rise Financial Program course. And then you will answer questions based on that course in a sort of questionnaire, quiz style. And then you're going to have to write a 750-word essay. And then what else do you need to know? One interesting thing about this scholarship is that it is only open to the first 1,000 applicants. So once they hit that 1,000 applicants, then you can still take the course and learn the information, but the scholarship closes after 1,000 applicants. So you want to be one of those 1,000. You want to get in there early and get going. So go ahead and try to jump in. And then here is how you apply. Let's jump over here to the website itself. So again, here it says the Rise Financial Progress Scholarship, $3,000 to help pay for school. We're going to go down here. It says again, we desire to improve the financial knowledge and educate others about personal finance. So pretty cool. And you would just click here to begin the course. We're going to kind of go down a little bit more, but that's where you would actually click this button, and that gets you into the course. So they developed the Rise Financial Scholarship to help hardworking students achieve their dreams while also teaching many students as possible what they need for long-term financial success. So we're going to kind of scroll through this, skip through here. It says here, application deadline May 3rd for the deadline, or until 1,000 applications are submitted. So you don't want to wait to the last minute on this one. Okay, so here we go. Eligibility. Again, U.S. citizen. Here you have to be enrolled in the school and have a 2.5. And the steps to apply is that you have to complete the Rise Financial Program course. After you complete the course, eligible students must answer the questions based on the course and then write their essay on this topic. So here's the topic for that essay. It says in around 750 words, so you can be a little bit more, a little bit less, but tell us about the financial courses you have completed and describe how you will be able to utilize it in your personal life. Have you helped anyone else with what you learned in these valuable financial courses? And do you feel it will help you achieve your long-term financial goals? So that's what they want to know. They're trying to get you to not only talk about the course, but they're talking about, have you helped anyone? Have you helped anyone with what you've learned from this course? And then also, has it helped you? How are you going to incorporate this into your life to benefit you? And like I said, I'm all about personal finance education and helping people learn about that stuff. So this scholarship's right up my alley. But for you guys, how has these courses, what did you learn? But like, how has it impacted you? Have you helped anybody else? All that kind of stuff. And then if we continue to scroll down here, it just talks about the deadline, which we've talked about. I guess if you have any questions, you can reach out here. So all you would do to apply is you would go to this website, click begin the Rise course, and we'll go and click that so you can see. It just takes you to here where you're gonna have to log in, but you would have to create a login if you don't have one, and then you just go to start the course now, and boom. That's how you would begin the course. Next. So in addition to all the scholarships I'm highlighting in this video, and there's still a few more to come, but there's a scholarship book. It's called the Ultimate Scholarship Book, and they come up with a new one every single year. You can definitely purchase that one or go to your local library and pick it up. But if you want to purchase it, I do have an affiliate link in the description that you can check that out to learn about even more scholarships that you can apply for. And it's got indexes that help you find the scholarships relevant to you. So check that out as well. Next, our scholarship today is called the Aging Matters Scholarship. Now, how much is our Aging Matters Scholarship? Well, it is $1,500 is the prize that you can win. Now, when is this scholarship due? In May? May 15th is the calendar date that you need to have all of your information submitted by. So don't wait. Go ahead and get this submitted as soon as possible. Now, are you eligible for this? Well, the existing college students or incoming freshmen attending any 2- or 4-year accredited college or university as a full-time student are eligible to apply. So pretty much if you're in college as an undergraduate, then you can apply for this. Now, what is it that you have to do? You're going to have to complete and submit a completed application form, and you're going to have to write a 1,000-word or less essay. So how exactly do you apply for this? Well, let's jump right into their website. So here we are on the webpage for seniorcare.com. And if we scroll down here, this is telling us that you can apply now to win the $1,500 scholarship. The application deadline, again, is May 15th. Now, this basically is saying that they are dedicated to helping seniors and their families in their quest for a better life, talking about aging. And it says it impacts everyone. An aging population explodes over the next 30 years. So it says here that we will be awarding an annual college scholarship to an individual that best demonstrates to us why aging matters to them. So that's basically what the essay is going to be about. So you can kind of read through all this, but this is the stuff we just talked about as far as, $1,500 one-time payment, etc., due dates. Now, here's something I did want to highlight for you right here. It says the deadline to submit is May 15th. The selection date is June 15th. So that's a month later. But notice up here that it says that they accept applications beginning June 15th for awards the following year. So why would that matter? Well, what that's saying is basically if you apply and your deadline is May 15th and they announce on June 15th that you didn't win, well, guess what? June 15th is also the opening date for next year. So rewrite an essay or tweak your essay or improve your essay and simply submit the same thing again. And you're already done. You've already now entered for next year. You don't have to wait until May of next year to submit it again. Go ahead and just tweak and write and improve that essay. And there you go. Just resubmit a better version of the essay. Or if you like, you can try to actually go a different route or develop something or have a different volunteer experience or decide to get engaged or more engaged in this community, the senior care community, if that's of interest to you. And that way that will give you an experience to write a better essay to submit it again next year. So just think about that, is by the time that you're finding out whether you've won or lost, you can already reapply for next year. So keep that in mind. If we continue down here, this is the application requirements, which we already kind of talked about. It does say complete and submit the application form. And then it says the judging will be based on the submission quality of the application overall. And then that includes the 1,000-word or less essay. And then if we click here, it says apply now. Now, before we click that, which we will, down below, right below that, it says congratulations to our past winners. So right here, they're telling you people that won before, but they're also including their essay. Right here, it says, here's Christine's submission. So you can literally read her essay that won, and you can read more. There's more submissions for past winners. So if you're not sure about what to write or what's a good essay or what's going to win, just look at past winners. And then if we hit apply now, then here's the actual application that you can fill out. So all this information here, scrolling through high school, college information, and then here's your essay. You would just enter the essay right into this form. And then if we go down here, there's a couple other questions, other information. What do you plan on doing in the future? Volunteer activities that you've participated in, and how are you currently impacting the aging population? So fill all that in, hit submit application, and there you go. Next. Now, the scholarship for today is called Innovation in Education Scholarship. So this scholarship is, indeed, how much is it? It is a $500 scholarship. Now, before you guys jump off and go, oh, it's only $500. I'm not going to do that. No, wait, listen. First of all, it's a scholarship that you can renew and do, or not renew, but apply for every single month. So if you don't win it the first month, you can just tweak the essay, tweak the application a little bit, and apply again the next month. But also, as we're going to get into, this is one of those things where if you do this, it's kind of a project-based scholarship. If you do this, then you can utilize the information and the scholarship and the content of what you're putting into this scholarship to add into some other scholarships to separate yourself and set yourself apart in other applications as well. When is it due? We just said this, it's due on the 20th, but it's not, this one's due May 20th because it's the month of May when I'm releasing this, but it's due every month. So are you eligible? So in order to be eligible, you have to be a high school or college student with a minimum 3.0 GPA, and you do have to be a citizen of the United States or Canada. Now, what is it that you're going to have to do? So again, don't jump ship just because there's a lot of text on the screen. All right, work with me. Design an innovative project that makes a difference in the lives of others. Now, this project can be, again, a website, a series of blogs, an app, fundraising event, etc. So kind of gives you some freedom to make a decision about how deep or how involved you want to get. But think about, again, the idea of other scholarships where it's like, oh, I created a website to solve a problem to help people. You think that's going to be something relevant that you can throw into another scholarship application? Like, pretty relevant stuff. So thinking about, well, what's a project I can do that would help people? That's something that's going to be relevant beyond this scholarship. Now, it does say, again, the essay and the supporting documentation is needed. There is no minimum or maximum word count or page count or that kind of thing. Now, in addition to that, you're also going to have the letter of recommendation that you're going to submit and a photo. So just keep that in mind. Now, what else do you need to know? We already said this. It is due every month on the 20th. So not just this month, but every month. And then here is how you can apply. So let's jump to their web page. So this is the Innovation in Education Scholarship here. And if we scroll down, it does say enter for a chance to win our monthly $500 scholarship. So there you go. Every single month it's available. Scroll down here, and this part says here, one way to showcase your creativity is to innovate either by solving a problem or by designing something that helps others solve problems, or by enhancing our relationship with whatever matters to us. So that's kind of the crux of what they're all about here. And they do say here, we are passionate about sparking the creative genius in students and would love to commend those outstanding students who have made a difference in the lives of others in some innovative or technological fashion. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, kind of, again, the criteria, we've already went over this. So you do have to be a student in high school or college, GPA 3.0, citizenship. And then here, you must have designed an innovative project that makes a difference in the lives of others. And this is where it talks about a series of blogs, website, an app, fundraising event, etc. The essay portion says you must submit an essay that is describing the goal of the particular project, and you want to provide supporting documentation. There is no minimum and there's no maximum word count or page count. So don't give them too much or too little. Originality, it has to be your own work. And here's the submission part. It's the 20th of each month, and then it closes on the 21st, and then it reopens. You can start submitting applications again on the 1st of the next month. So this is every single month you can reapply. It says it right there. You're welcome to reapply each month. Now, if you do win, you can't apply again. Winners are not eligible. So once you win it, then you're out. And here's kind of the details and the terms. It basically says you have to respond within 5 days of being told you're the winner. And if that's the case, here's the application. So information, first, last name, phone number, email, high school, all that stuff. And then here's where you're going to submit. Here's your essay, letter of recommendation, and your photo. And you're going to upload that right here. Select file, upload, select file, upload, select file, upload. Do that, submit your application, and there you go. You're entered to win that $500. Next, this scholarship is called the Post-Secondary College Scholarship. Now, how much is this scholarship? Well, there are 10 awards that are for $1,000 each. So you don't have to be the best, just have to be the top 10. And then you can win one of these $1,000 awards. Now, when is this one due? It's due at the end of the month, May 31st. So keep that in mind. Try not to miss that due date. Now, are you eligible? Well, in order to be eligible, there's some kind of fine print here. So bear with me. You do have to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. You do have to have a GPA of at least 3.0. Now, for this scholarship, you have to be enrolled in a minimum of 9 credit hours and working part-time at least 20 hours weekly. Or if you are only taking 6 credit hours, then you need to show that you're working 32 hours weekly. And we'll get into why there's both this requirement that you're in college as well as working as we get into it. But in addition to that, you do have to be majoring in insurance, compliance, risk management, finance, accounting, actuarial science, business information, and information technology, one of those degree programs in order to be eligible for this. Now, what is it that you have to do if you are indeed going to be working in one of these areas? Well, you're going to fill out the application and a transcript. You'll have a letter of reference, they call it, and employment verification. So remembering, you have to be working part-time, 20 hours or 32 hours, depending on how many credit hours you are taking. Now, here is how to apply. Let's jump right to their website here. This is the Post-Secondary College Scholarship. It says each year the SILA, the SILA Foundation, is proud to offer the availability of 10 $1,000 scholarships. Now, if we roll down here, they do say here, let us pay a share of your education expenses here to help. Now, here's some general information about the scholarship. I'm not going to read all of this to you, but it does say that they are called the Securities and Insurance Licensing Association Foundation, or the SILA Foundation. That's why, again, we're looking at Securities and Insurance Licensing Association. That's why those requirements for the different degrees. It says the scholarships for students focused on careers in the insurance and securities industry. That's what they're focusing on. So obviously, if that's not you, if you're not focusing on that, then this one's not for you. But if it is, then this one is narrowing down the search. Not as many can people apply for this because of the narrowness of the requirements. So if we continue to go down here, it says thanks to our sponsors. Now, here are the requirements. Again, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I am going to just highlight real quick. It does talk about, again, permanent resident, cumulative GPA. Here are those areas of study that we talked about. Here's the specific requirements of either taking 12, 9, or 6 and working in these different areas. It says if you're enrolled in a minimum of 12 credit hours at an accredited post-secondary school. If you're in school full-time, then you don't have to be working. It says enrolled if a minimum of 9 hours and employed part-time, or a minimum of 6 hours and employed part-time at 32 hours. So this part here, it says be enrolled in a minimum of 12 credit hours at an accredited post-secondary school, or, so there's no work requirement here. There's no work requirement if you're taking 12 hours or more. So for the additional pieces, you're going to submit that application. You're also going to submit the transcript and the letter of reference. And the employment verification letter if applying for consideration as a full-time employee. If you fail to provide any of that stuff, then basically your application won't be considered. And then what you need to know. And again, here's some more of the fine print details. So I'll let you guys peruse that as you need to. And for any help, you can email questions to here. Now, they also have a section here, the FAQ, so you can click on that for any of the other questions you might have that haven't been there. And then here's past recipients, so you can click on that to again see who's won before. And then after you do that, then this is the actual application part. Copy of the transcript. If you are a high school graduating senior, it does say that they want you to provide a copy of your high school transcript, but you also must provide a copy of your upcoming fall enrollment schedule from your college or university before they'll release the funds. So this is kind of after you've won. They won't actually release that money to you unless you submit this an enrollment information for that college or universities. And it says click the apply now button below. And so that's where you would click to apply for this post-secondary college scholarship. Next. All right, this scholarship that we're talking about is the First Financial Bank Scholarship. Now, how much is this scholarship? This is $2,000 for a one-time scholarship, but again, it is awarded every single month, which is the next question: when is it due? At the last day of every single month, you can apply for this scholarship. So if you didn't get it this time, go for next time. Now, are you eligible? Now, if you're a United States resident, 18 years or older, and you are planning to enroll or are currently enrolled in a college degree program, you are eligible. Now, what is it that you're going to have to do? There's an online application you'll fill out, and there's a 500-word essay. So not too much, just an application and an essay. And 500 words isn't that bad for one of these essays. So here is how to apply. We're going to go over to their website here. And here we are. It says win a $2,000 scholarship. The First Financial Bank wants to celebrate those who recognize the importance of pursuing education and financial goals with the First Financial Bank USA Financial Goals Scholarship. So here it is. $2,000. We talked about that, eligibility and how to enter. We already talked about all that. And they do say optional. You can post on some sort of public Facebook or Instagram post that, hey, I don't know, entering for this scholarship, but that's optional. Don't worry about that. We're going to go ahead and in order to go to this next page, I have to put something here. So I'm going to go ahead and put A and B, and we're going to go with just, college@gmail.com and enter the scholarship. All right, now this brings us to this next page. This is the application. All right, so over here, again, it talks about more of their details. It says it's a $2,000 scholarship. Here's the form. And you can, again, use this hashtag one at blah, 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 if you're tagging them to follow them and all their social media stuff. So anyways, you're going to fill this out. Email, go ahead and throw your Instagram if you have one out there, again, optional. And then fill out this information about college and your major and your expected graduation date. Now here it says respond to the following prompt in 500 words or less. Now between tuition and living costs, college can be expensive. As a student, how do you save money on essential and non-essential expenses each month? What is your top tip that other students should adapt in order to help them save money in college? And then this is where they want you to write your 500-word essay response there. And it says, say, upload a photo of yourself. So go ahead and throw that in here as well. You've read and accepted this stuff. If I'm selected as the winner, blah, 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 I'll make the post, whatever it is that you need to do to get the money. Your cardholder status will not affect your chances on this contest. And then how did you hear about us? And then you're going to hit submit. Now, it is possible, because this scholarship is spread out over the course of multiple months and multiple years, that you may end up actually seeing a different prompt here, different question. It's possible that they could update this and change this. So where this is the current prompt, it says follow this prompt here, 500 words or less. It is possible that they change that at any given time. So you might have a slightly different question than this, but again, it is still a bank. So they're probably still going to be asking questions about finances and other information. So I hope you were able to definitely benefit from this video. Hopefully there are new scholarships you've never heard of that you can apply for this month, start winning some of that money, or continue to watch some of my free content here by clicking on this video for more scholarship related stuff, or this video that YouTube thinks that you need to watch next. Either way, let me help you future-proof your life. Go ahead and throw any questions you got down in the comments, and we will see you in the next one.